As well as being able to search through historical exploration archives and private databases, GeoClerk also has a feed direct from the ASX and from the TSX, TSXV via SEDAR+, so that all company filings, announcements, and that sort of thing coming from either of those sources are available to be searched through GeoClerk. So you're getting up-to-the-minute information as well as historical information. I've highlighted those two databases over here on the left, and I've limited my search for the purposes of this video to those two databases. So I'm just going to go through a couple of examples of how you can use that. Now, how you use it is going to depend on what work you're doing, whether you're interested in all filings related to a particular commodity, or the filings of a particular company, or since our database is spatially searchable as well, since we have pipelines to create spatial data for the documents now coming from the ASX and SEDAR+, we can search for the filings that are within a specific area. So I'll quickly show you how to do that. So the simplest one is if you're just looking to track all mentions of a particular commodity. So let's just type in lithium as an example. And as I said, I've got my databases. I'm just looking at the ASX and TSX SEDAR+ databases. So I'll do a search for lithium. That'll just take a couple of moments. And here we have the results. And you can see that as well as finding matches for lithium, we've also got lepidolite, pegmatite, spodumene, etc., etc. So that's fine, but maybe you're only interested actually when somebody publishes some assay results or some new drilling intercepts or something like that. So as well as lithium, let's type in the word grade, which is going to expand out to percentage, ppb, ppm, etc., grams per ton, to report all different ways of reporting grade and pull back all the documents and images with that mentioned. So here we have that, and now we're looking at all the different companies who've submitted filings that mention lithium and grade. Now, rather than the default sorting, which is by, in this case, textual relevance, so the number of times that the search terms are found, you might want to sort this by the most recently added, so you get the most up-to-date filings first, and then having done the resorting, you might want to group the announcements by documents rather than image, because things like annual reports have quite a large number of images in them and may dominate the view that you get. So that's one way of using it, and obviously you could go over to the tables view and start extracting tables from the most recent announcements and that sort of thing. But since we've got spatial information tagged to these documents as they're coming from the ASX and SEDAR, we can also search these announcements spatially. So let's go over to my shapes, and I'm just going to go down to this area here. And what I've done here is I've imagined that I'm exploring in this tenement in the middle, E69-342 and I've set up a buffered area of about 45 kilometers or something like that in the area around. And I want to look at any filings that are coming through in this area, around the area that I'm searching. So let's go over to that buffered shape. Let's do a search. As I said, I've limited my search to these two databases, so everything coming through is going to be just from those databases. Again, I'm going to sort this by the most recently published now. And then we'll see that we've got results from Terra Metals. We also had some results from Caspian Resources as well, but it seems like Terra Metals are one of the most active companies in that area. If I then wanted to set up a search alert for this, that would be really straightforward. I can just click on search alert. That's the subject of another video, but I could set up a search alert so that any new ASX announcements that are coming out within that area, I get automatically alerted by email. So if I was interested now in a particular company, There's a couple of ways I could do it. If it was a company like Terra Metals that I was interested in, and I have a result of them from one of our searches, I can just click on their name here in the bottom left, and it will take me to the database of all the Terra Metals announcements. And again, I can make sure that's sorted by the most recently added, which it is, and they had an announcement just a few days ago. And then the other way you can do this, if I just go back to open up a new search, is search by the ticker code of the company. So if you want to do that, you just need to know the 3-letter acronym if it's on the ASX, or whatever the ticker code is from the ones that are coming from the TSX and TSXV. So in this case, I'm just going to look up Dreadnought Resources. Their ticker code is DRE. So I just, in inverted commas, I just type ASX DRE with a space in the middle. Now, if it was TSX, you do TSX space and then the ticker code. The reason you look at that is that all announcements tend to have, or they all have, that nomenclature somewhere on the actual announcement. So here we are, we've got all the Dreadnought announcements. Again, if I sort them by most recently added, I'll get the latest ones first. So their latest one was from mid-December. And then we can go through and just look, we might be interested in just when they've published sections, or if you want every single announcement that they've ever produced, irrespective of whether it's got images in there, you can go over to the text results. So in the text results, they're sorted by document, and every time that Dreadnought is mentioned, you'll see that. Now, not all of those are going to be from Dreadnought's actual announcements, because if there are partner companies or other companies that mention them on their maps and that sort of thing, then you will get those announcements as well. If you just purely want the Dreadnought ones, just click on their name on one of the results, and then we'll see the database, and then again go back to the text results, and we can have a look at all of those there. So lots of different ways to use the ASX and SEDAR Plus databases, and with the spatial information that's in there as well, makes it a highly valuable resource within this package.